Welcome. This is going to be a new YouTube channel, something me and a few others thought we'd introduce. There's been a lot of negativity around the club. There's been a lot of indifference. So we thought we'd bring in maybe some, we like to refer to as sensible takes. We don't rush into things usually, and we like to analyse. That's why we're doing this review. Not on the same day as the match, just giving us a chance to stew over things. It's going to be myself, John, and there's a few others of us. There's going to be 10 of us in total. It'll be different depending on the video because we've all got other stuff we've got to do, so we can't all be available every single day. But so it'll be different. I'm going to host this one. So I'm Benjamin. I do data work on Twitter. Do you want to introduce yourself, John?
Yeah, I'm John, and I generally tend to focus on United in the past, kind of more retro stuff, but obviously still support and keep up with what's going on with the team and the club in the present as well.
To say, as we can see from your glorious tops behind you.
That's it. Yeah, gotta love a retro, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can't really enjoy the present too much. We might as well look on the past. We are notorious for that as United fans.
Like, it is what it is, hey?
Yeah. So, like I said, there's the two of us, and then we've got 8 others. So we've got Adam, we've got Max, we've got Michael, we've got Andre, we've got Dan, Jared, United Arts, and Craig. It's going to be different depending on the video. So today you are joined with me and John. We are going to look over the Sunderland game because it brought some differences, and actually for once it brought a positive result. So, you know what? For a first video, it's a good way to start. Especially with you've got positives from like Le Mans. Is there anything you want to add in terms of your overall thoughts on just quickly on the match?
Yeah, far more like it, wasn't it? Like it's very, very refreshing over the last couple of years, really, to get just like a very, very controlled, dominant first half, and then saw the game out reasonably competently. It's a very nice kind of change to how things have been this last little while.
So we can use a word that we don't use very often, which is comfortable.
Yeah.
It felt actually like we knew what we were doing for most of it. So we got our 2 early goals, or somewhat early, and we didn't really push on too much the second half. We did create more chances than they did, but we just sort of tried to get ourselves a clean sheet because that's something we've not done since the last game of last season.
Exactly, yeah. It's nice to just, control it, see it out. Probably, I think a lot of us would have been happier if they had tried to really kind of push and get that third goal and really kill it off. But, we'll take 2-0, especially given the way things have been this last while.
Absolutely, especially since a lot of people weren't very confident going into this game because Sunderland have looked good since they come into the Premier League, and we haven't looked comfortable this season at all. We've had some good performances in spells, but we've not had a confident, comfortable performance like that. It's even wins like we had against Chelsea. We performed well in the first half, got them down to 10 men. Second half, when we were down to 10 as well, it was all Chelsea. We held on towards the end. And even Burnley, when we won 3-2, it was far from comfortable.
That's it. We've been far too used to kind of panic stations, even when we're in good positions in games. Like we've not been sensible and kind of just seen the games out. So it was a very, very pleasant change this weekend.
So we sort of managed to avoid that feeling of here we go again when they score, and then we just inevitably sit back and hope that they don't again. We just never really got to that point. They had that chance late on that Le Mans saved with his legs, but apart from that, they really didn't create too much. But it's probably down to we had a little bit of a difference in shape, but we also had Le Mans, who had a very confident first game, claiming crosses that we didn't really see Bayern did do. He actually left his 6-yard box for times, and that's just something we're not really being used to at the moment.
No, that's it. It's amazing the difference having competent and confident presence back there is made. And you saw Lomans at the weekend, like barking instructions to the defence, having to go at Bruno at one point, and just taking command of the situation. It was really, really reassuring.
So that's one of my favourite bits. There's obviously the Xhaka saves that everyone looks at, which in the grand scheme of things you'd want to be like a pretty routine save for the goalkeeper. He made it look routine at least.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as it happened, he just barked orders. You wouldn't be able to tell that it was his debut. He literally was shouting at his team as if he's 100 games in. And it seemed like something that he's going to hopefully rise to the occasion. We've seen a lot of people join United and just shrink. But hopefully this quick openness to just shout at his teammates, that's something that we've lacked. Like Bayern Deer, although he's had his moments where he's made some good saves, he never really looked like he was confident in himself enough to... We never saw him claim crosses. We never saw different bits. It's like he was defending for himself. Anytime he make a save or claim a cross or anything, he just... I don't know, you cut to him and he'd be dead silent and you just wouldn't see any emotion on him.
That's it, yeah. No emotion, no personality. And sometimes you get goalies that are all emotion and personality, and kind of forget the basics. But no, I think with Lomans, it's he seems to have, and I don't want to put too much on him too early. Obviously, he has just played one game for us, but he does seem
one game you have to promote aside. But yeah,
mm-hmm. That's it. But he seems a very kind of reassuring presence back there. Makes the saves you expect him to make. Did well in his one-on-one, and coming out, claiming crosses, controlling his not just his 6-yard box, but the 18-yard box and beyond at times, and competent with his feet as well, which was nice.
Yeah, he was confident on both feet as well, which is really handy. We saw quite a lot. He was just going long. That's something that I saw quite quickly, that we seem to be going a lot more Route 1 football, aiming for... We've got a big lad up top again, aiming for Šeško, whether that's his head or his chest. We saw it work wonders against Chelsea, which got the Robert Sanchez red card. We saw it a few more times where we had that connection between him and Mbeumo, just running beyond him, because Šeško's a big lad. He's going to get his head on things.
That's it, yeah. You've got a 6'5" unit up there. Like, it makes sense to kind of use that, and it might be a bit kind of Wimbledon in the 80s and 90s, kind of to suggest you just lump it up at the big man up top. But like, it's an effective tactic, and we've seen that a couple of times over the last few games.
I mean, we're seeing it a lot more in general in the league. That is, with everything's going a lot more direct. So I mean, we've seen different just revolutions in football, especially the last 10 years. We switched between the tiki-taka to the gegenpressing. Now it seems like we've got a more, I don't know, focusing on athleticism, focusing on just that physicality. We saw it with Arsenal quite a lot last season. They got so many points just from set pieces, and we're seeing it early in this one. Long throws are a killer. And we even saw it with Benjamin Šeško's goal, where a long throw from Delo, causing a bit of confusion, and then he poked it home quite nicely, which was good to see. That's 2 goals in 2 for him. Yeah,
no, a great kind of reactive, sort of instinctive finish. Is one of those... As a striker, you don't have to think about it. You just kind of, the ball's there, you stick your foot in it, poke it towards where the goal is, and usually that's what works.
Yeah, I mean, we saw, I guess it kind of came down to his confidence that he had throughout the game. We saw a few times it coming to his feet and he hit Ahmad quite a lot. He had that chance where we had a little few interchanges. Bruno found Šeško on the halfway line, opens his body, plays it out to Ahmad, who just had acres of space, because this is when they were playing their back four still and they couldn't quite cope with our wing backs at that point. It did change a little bit after they moved to the back 5, but I mean, we saw the difference that Ahmad made coming in, just someone that's more naturally a wing back in that position, causing a lot of issues for them, especially linking up with Mbeumo.
Yeah, no, it was nice to see, actually, again for the first time this season, that link up between Ahmad and Mbeumo really working, because it hasn't done really, hasn't quite clicked to that extent yet this season. So to be such a threat down the right with the pair of them combining well was really excellent to see.
I mean, to be fair, I've been sceptical of that partnership quite a bit, because when you look at it in just the smaller details, they're pretty similar players. They like to operate in similar areas. They both want to cut inside. In terms of how they play the game, it's very similar. So I wasn't entirely sure how I thought it was going to play out. But I think because we had Mason Mount starting on the left-hand side, Mbeumo naturally came more central, which left that space for Ahmad. So it felt more like it was a 2 up top with Ahmad effectively that right winger.
Yeah, that's it, because you had Mount sort of dropping back more towards the midfield and kind of taking up what you'd almost think of as being more naturally sort of Bruno's position, but with
for
that
sure.
kind of allowed Mbumo to come in. Got Ahmad pushing forward on the right. It worked time and time again, especially in that first half.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, when I looked at the lineups and I saw that we had Amma playing wing back and Dalla on the left hand side, I thought it could maybe at times shift to a four at the back with Ahmad on the wing and Bumo and Shesko like interchanging.
Mm-hmm.
Shesko's not really known for his wide play, but he has at times needed to be used there, especially when he's at Leipzig. Just Mount dropping in, making that midfield free at times, just added that little bit more assuredness, I felt, and I felt he had a really good game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, Mount was excellent. Really, really good. Probably, again, one of his best games in a United shirt to date. And can we talk about the touch and finish for the goal? Because, like,
So good.
so good. Like, cushion the ball, and just as it's sitting up, really unexpected kind of shot selection. The way he took that shot on, it was unorthodox, but perfect.
He hit it early. The keeper had no chance to react. Use the defender as a screen. To be fair, it's a finish. It's something we've seen him do pretty regularly recently. Just that bending at far corner, using that defender in front of him just to create that angle.
Mm-hmm.
It was his best game for United, I think, for maybe this season, because he's not really been fit. And I think he's been using a different role this season so far, where he was being used further forwards in the false nine.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this time he's dropped back a little bit deeper, allow him to dictate play a bit. Because, I mean, he's mentioned in presses and interviews about the fact that he's used to this system because he played it at Chelsea under Tuchel and Conte. I think it was both.
Yeah, they both did.
And he dropped in naturally. He literally just everything he does is quick. He gets it on the half turn and he finds options really quickly. And that's just something that we've not really had at times. We've dawdled on the ball, but we have willing runners in this team, so we just need to make things a bit quicker. And he definitely brought that.
That's it. He's got a quick brain, which makes such a difference. Like he's aware of what's going on around him, and he doesn't have to stop and think about it. It just happens.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's pretty instinctive how where he plays. I mean, he's played under managers that like to play on the back foot because he's someone that is very able to play in that transition. When we've tried to hold the ball a little bit more, he's not really been it, especially under Ten Hag in the second season. He just never quite got it because we were trying to play a little bit more, just building up slowly, and that's not really his game.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was pushing forwards, and that's what we were getting exposed in the midfield. But here now, trying to create those spaces, actually using our wingers is definitely suiting his style. And it's good to see him back. We saw him start the season really well. So when he got injured, it was a big miss.
Yeah, no, it was. It was like noticeable when he's not there. I know it gets said about him a lot, but he does seem like a coach's dream as well. He'll do what he's asked to do, and he'll do it as well as it can. But sometimes, as you're saying, that kind of slower, more methodical approach to the game doesn't really suit him. So when it is that bit more transitional or kind of more instinctive, then I think that's when we see the best of him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have seen us become a bit more of a basketball side again, like we did under Eric, which is what has left us exposed a few times, but it has helped a few players. I think he's one of the few that has actually shone a bit more in this system. There's not many to pick from because obviously, 15th last season, you can't really pick out positives or players that have improved under such a system. But to be fair, there have been a few shining lights, even last season, one of whom I would say is Matthias de Ligt. I just love him. He's a warrior.
Mm-hmm. He's so consistent at the back, isn't he? Like, he's just, always where, or most of the time, where you want him to be, where you need him to be. He'll put his head on things, he'll make blocks. Probably not the best on the ball, but more than good enough for what we need at the moment. That's for sure.
I think he just needs to stay in that central area, though, because when he moved to the right-hand side for the Brentford game and he was being asked to step up a little bit more, angles were completely different. He just wasn't quite the same. I think that we're at the case now where it has to be De Ligt or Maguire. I don't think they both can function properly together, especially since Lenny Yoro is so competent on either side. I've even seen a few times where he'd be the overlapping player and he'd like putting crosses in from inside the box.
Well, that's it. Yeah, he won the throw-in, didn't he, Yoro, for Šeško's goal. But yeah, no, I would agree. I think De Ligt does need to be that kind of that anchor in the center of the defense and kind of let the I don't want to say more mobile because he's not a donkey, but let the quicker ones kind of operate in the wider spaces in those channels and let him shore things up in the middle. That definitely suits him.
I think even when Martinez is back, it will be a big treat for De Ligt because obviously currently next to him is Luke Shaw on the left-hand side at the moment. And we've seen the best of Luke Shaw and the worst of Luke Shaw this season. We've seen, that Brentford game was shocking. Chelsea, awful.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hopefully once we've got Martinez back, whenever that is going to be, that backline should be pretty settled. You'd hope with Martinez, De Ligt and Yoro. But then we have question marks over a person who didn't have a great performance was Diogo Dalot. I've been a big advocate of Dalot for a long time, but he's just not been it this season.
No, there were signs against even second half of last season with Dalot where he played that much football. He just seemed like he was knackered, and when that happens, it happens to everyone. When you're exhausted, your decision making goes, and he just does some weird things on a football pitch. This season, he obviously doesn't have that tiredness excuse. So I don't know what's been up with him, but yeah, it's been pretty off the pace. To be kind,
he gets mentally fatigued quite quickly. But I think the thing is, it's weird because like you said there about him playing so many minutes of football. I think his best time was when he was literally playing every single minute, and then he struggled when he got injured, and then came back and slowly came back into it again. I think there needs to be find that balance with him. He performs when he's in form, but he has to play into it. But then when he plays too much, he then gets fatigued and then struggles again. It's a really weird balance with him.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Yeah, you'd think this kind of one game a week would be ideal for him because he's not being asked to play 180 minutes a week like he has been this last couple of years. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. But no, he wasn't great at the weekend, and yeah, he's not had the best start to the season.
Not really. But then somebody that's had another mixed start to the season is Casemiro. He's played some good football. He's also managed to just show why can be a bit of a liability at times with a stupid yellow card. Obviously, his 2 yellows against Chelsea. He played quite well at times, just knitting the ball together, just dropping in when he needed to, stepping up when he needed to. But again, there's just that little bit in Casemiro where he's just that little bit rash, where it's either a wayward shot or a cross where you have no idea where he's meant to be playing it to, or he's just that step behind and tries to recover and ends up causing more issues than he's fixing.
Yeah, again, he's one of those where sometimes it seems like he's almost trying too hard to be the Casemiro of 5 years ago, and he's not quite got that anymore. And sometimes he's well off it. Other times he's absolutely brilliant, and we'd have been really, really stuck without him. So, he does just, again, he makes some weird decisions, some very, very rash kind of attempts to make a tackle when like you can see watching it, he's a half a second off, and ends up kind of catching the man rather than the ball and picking up these yellows that he really, really shouldn't be, a player with his experience.
He plays like somebody that's got 2 years experience, not someone that's won 6 Champions Leagues. It's weird that he at times shows his quality, his experience. It shows in buckets, and then other moments you're like, we shouldn't be making that mistake. Like something you wouldn't maybe like even Mainu, you would never expect him to make.
Yeah, that's it. Like with an 18-year-old kid, you'd almost forgive it, but with someone who's say in his 30s, won 6 Champions League, captain of the Brazil national team. Should have more awareness of kind of his capabilities.
Yeah, literally somebody that went through and was part of that Real Madrid side that literally everyone looked at as the ultimate professionals, winning Champions League after Champions League after Champions League, 3 in a row, never been done before. We looked at them as they were the ultimate professionals and the ultimate team. And it's somebody that's come from that, and you're sort of questioning how did they get that out of him, considering the performances we're seeing.
Yeah, I mean, having a Kroos and a Modric in the midfield with him would have helped, but
it would be nice.
It would be lovely, wouldn't it?
We were meant to have Kroos at one point, and then
let's not talk about that.
Yeah, better not.
We'll be here all night.
God, don't get me started. So that performance and that result, has that changed any of your opinions on Amorim, on the system, on just the season as a whole?
Yes and no. Like, I am obviously delighted that we've picked up a win, and in such a controlled fashion as well. Like, there were times where we looked really, really good, looked unplayable, but there's still some things like that second half. Obviously, like the game was won, but with this team, it always feels so fragile, and it's. I never felt like we were in threat yesterday, but I just hope that we can kind of build on the confidence that this will bring.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like you were saying there, it felt like just we've got that PTSD, for a better word, of United where we go, you know what, we're cruising, and then something happens, and the mentality shifts. We're on the back foot. It's like if that chance went in that feels like the 91st minute when there was 1-1 with Le Mans. If that went in, we would all literally probably just stop watching because the pressure and just the usual thing that we see with United is we'd crumble there. So whilst it was comfortable, you would have wanted us to maybe push for a third or a fourth. We saw that we definitely took our foot off the gas in that game, which, I mean, it worked out in the end. We needed that clean sheet. We needed just that little bit of confidence because there's nothing better than. I mean, Fergie used to say, didn't he, that he'd rather win 1 or 2-0 than 5 or 6 because you know you're being in the game and you know you've won. Because if you're winning 5 or 6, why not win 7 or 8? Whereas if you've won 1 or 2, it's a battle and you know that you've fought for that win. So we did the right thing in the end in holding on. But we just need that confidence in front of goal because we just don't score enough. We didn't do it last season. We didn't do it the season before. It's been pretty much since Ole that we haven't really scored enough goals.
That's it. Yeah, it's been a long time since we've absolutely battered someone, and for a while against Sunderland, it looked very, very much like that was on. Obviously, they changed the system in the first half. We went to a back 5, which kind of negated us a little bit, but still, it would be nice to see us go on and give someone an absolute pasting because that's not something we've seen, and I think that the players and the manager would all really benefit from it.
I can't remember the last time we won by more than 2.
Yeah.
We've been Bilbao 4-1. Apart from that, I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, no, there's nothing really springing to mind. Like it's been too long. And I think we're overdue to give someone a spanking because like the confidence is so brittle at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
And like I can understand, kind of given the context of really the last year, kind of why they go into themselves, and kind of Like why, in a position of dominance and security against Sunderland, we decided, right, let's just kind of shut up shop. Let's kind of maintain this, make sure we get the clean sheet, make sure we get out of here with the win, and kind of use this as a building block to go forward. Like use this as a foundation rather than trying to skip straight to kind of the end stage of giving someone a shooting.
For sure. I mean, we even heard Aaron himself come out in multiple interviews, and he said, these players, as soon as we concede, they go into themselves and they're like, oh, here we go again. Something's going to happen. They're scarred from 4 or 5 years, let alone the last year, especially since, I know, before last season we finished 8th and we said this can't happen again.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a lot of downturn and a lot of issues that a lot of these players just can't shake. I mean, we've seen it with likes of Mbumo and Cunha that have come in afresh, and they haven't got that just yet. They just keep going. We just need to make sure that we don't end up dragging them down to our issues.
Yeah, no, I would absolutely agree with that. Like, yeah, PTSD for the players is probably not too far wide of the mark, but you say it's really important that kind of with these new guys that have come in, they've brought impetus, they've brought confidence. Let's hope that they can lift everyone else to that level rather than being dragged down. Yeah.
So you mentioned as well about the fact that they changed system and that sort of negated us a bit. Would you see that as an issue? Because we've seen with Amorim, especially, we saw it in the Chelsea game, we've seen it a few times where the other manager has tweaked their system or tweaked something and he hasn't reacted to it, and we've ended up either dropping points or never quite looking like we did before they made their changes. Is that an issue you're seeing, or do you think that he was just happy, he's seen that they're shutting up shop, let's let them, let's just get through this game, no injuries, keep it at 2-0, get a confident result?
Yeah, I think in this instance, I don't mind it so much because we were already well in control by that point, and obviously them bringing off a forward to put in an extra defender means that they're not going to cause us as much threat. Obviously, anything can happen in a game of football, so you don't want to like rest on your laurels too much. But I didn't hate it in this game, but it is something that it's a pattern that I'm not necessarily a massive fan of. If we're kind of chasing a game, or we need to try and get a positive result from somewhere, and teams shut down at the back, and we don't do anything to counter that, that is an issue.
So it feels like once again we're in a situation where our counter to winning a goal is just chucking the big man on. Mm-hmm. We saw it a lot under Ten Hag, where it was McTominay that bailed him out, and then at times Maguire.
Yeah.
In that situation again, where it feels like as soon as we need a goal, the only method we have of doing so is put Maguire on, aim for back post crosses, and hope that he can cause an issue.
Yeah.
It just feels like we've spoken about Amorim's stubbornness, and it's a topic of discussion that everyone's been talking about. It's something that he doesn't seem to want to change his system before a game, but also doesn't ever change it during. I mean, there's different micro changes during the matches, but you never feel like he reacts to the match as it's going on.
Yeah, no, it does feel like we as fans are kind of crying out for more a lot of the time, and again, some of it justified, but again, not always. It's a balancing act. Like I certainly couldn't claim to know a fraction of what Ruben Amorim does about football. So like, I don't feel like I can sort of question the overall kind of image that he's seeing. But again, sometimes there are things that clearly don't work in games, and you just want to see something different that he is just unwilling to give us.
I mean, there's little bits that we see where we even mention it before matches. We're like, this could be an issue, and usually it becomes an issue. There's just little details like that. But like you said, we're not ever gonna not question, because that's part of pretty much our job as fans, is to question, not accept, but then also enjoy the good times. We're obviously not in the same quality or realm as Amrim, otherwise we would be in a job ourselves. So we're going to question, but at the same time, everything he's doing, you'd hope is for a reason. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Unfortunately, right now, it clearly isn't. But we're just hoping that hopefully he shows a bit of, I don't know, just complexity at times. Because, I mean, I think we saw it last season. I can't remember which game it was in the Europa League, where we were chasing a goal and he shifted to that 4-2-3-1. And we just played them off the park for the second half. And we just never saw it again. He's mentioned before that once they get this system in their head, then he can start looking at little changes, because he did actually use a 4-2-3-1 quite a lot at Sporting. In his second season when they were struggling with injuries. It's just if he can keep the job long enough that he can actually bring that into fruition.
Well, that's it. Yeah, when yesterday's lineup came out, even, and it's a pet peeve of mine, is when United release the lineups in numerical order and you can't quite work out where everyone is. And I was kind of looking through the list. I thought, hang on, is he playing four at the back? And it turned out he wasn't. But it looked like he might have kind of thrown us that curveball and made that little tweak. So yeah, just little things like that would be more encouraging. But again, I can understand Amram's kind of justification for kind of sticking with one system while things aren't going so well, to kind of really try and drill that in. But I said, yeah, don't necessarily always agree with it.
So before we wrap up here, let's look forward to what is going to be the next fixture after the international break against what is actually weirdly a wounded Liverpool side. Is this game brought any new confidence? Has their recent drop points brought any new confidence, or is it just you're looking at it and going, we're playing at Anfield, we never win at Anfield, it's just going to be another one of those? Or do you think we actually get something out of
it? Yeah, great question. I don't know when I last looked forward to a game at Anfield with any optimism. Like it's been quite a few years, and of course, yeah, Liverpool have gone on this poor run, lost 3 in a row this week. Like I feel like I should be more optimistic and more confident than I'm feeling at the moment. Because you like, I don't know, maybe this last few years have kind of broken something in my brain, but I think like we've had a good result. They're on a run of bad results. I think we should be going into this looking forward to really having a go at them. And yet I could quite easily, just as easily, see us getting spanked 4-5-0 again. And they just a click. And I hate saying that. I absolutely hate saying that. I hope that doesn't prove to be the case.
I mean, it says a lot that we played them a couple of years back and we got a 0-0 draw at Anfield. We celebrated like it was a 4-5-0 win.
Yeah.
We struggle at Anfield a lot. It's when was the last time we won? 9 years ago?
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where just Liverpool at Anfield against United, it doesn't matter what form we're in, doesn't matter what form they're in. Even when we're playing with Fergie, it didn't matter what form each side was in. It's still Anfield, United, Liverpool. Anything can happen, but usually anything can happen means Liverpool walking away with a result, regardless of what form they're in.
That's it. It's one of those games that as a United fan, like really, really should kind of get your blood up, kind of get the pulse racing. And yet, especially given this last couple of years, I want to be more confident than I'm feeling at the moment. But yeah, as long as we kind of come through the international break with no new injuries and kind of we have a full, strong, settled squad going in, I don't want to say I'll fancy our chances, but why not? Why not? We've got the quality to get a result.
See, that's the weird thing, is that we actually have good players, and actually the way that we play somewhat is perfect to beat Liverpool with what their weaknesses have been this season, because their weaknesses have been defending the channels.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how we play. How we play is +1 on the wing, trying to create opportunities to cut back inside again. So the way that we play should be perfect for this, but usually when that's the case, we will be sat here in 2 weeks' time talking about a 4-5-0 loss, and we'll be saying what went wrong.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's not the case. I can see, again, as things are, like I can see Dorgu getting a load of joy down our left against whether it's Bradley or Frimpong or Soboslai was playing there at the weekend. Like right back, especially, seems to be a real issue for Liverpool this year. So yeah, I hope we can take advantage of that. And yeah, if we can get a couple of scadgy, I wouldn't care if it came off somebody's shin or off somebody's backside, get a goal early on and kind of kind of bloody the nose early, and then anything can happen. I would absolutely love it. Not to go full Keegan.
So it feels, yeah, it feels very much like it could be a chance for put a bet on Dorgu to win a penalty against Soboslai, especially after recent games. Feels like chuck a bet on a Bruno Fernandes penalty, Dorgu winning a penalty, and like you said, I think this could just as easily be 1-0 United as 6-0 Liverpool.
Yeah,
hopefully it's the first one.
Hopefully,
but it all depends on making sure we avoid any injuries and making sure that. You know what? We just don't want to be the team that allows Liverpool to click and just build up their form again, because they have started to drop. And I think a few people did predict it, because last season was very much Klopp's Liverpool. It was very much a case of let's copy last season's script and play it again and hope oppositions drop off, which we saw with City and Arsenal. This season, it feels like he's put his stamp on it. It feels like he's got the Ten Hags about him, where he's gone, ooh, we've got some results sitting back. Let's try to be a bit more expansive and see if we can get even more results, but finding actually opening yourself up a little bit more doesn't create more chances for you. It actually makes you more exposed, especially such a physical, direct league as we're in.
Yeah, no, that's it. And like they've been lucky, I think, in a lot of games this season, and obviously a lot of late wins. And yes, you can say you make your own luck and all that, but they haven't been performing to anything like the level the results have been showing. So yeah, like as you say, we stand as good a chance of beating them 1-0 as we do it as getting a thumping. So hopefully if we can score early, or if we can at least stop them scoring early, I think we could be in for a real humdinger of a game.
Let's hope so. But we will be back in a week and a half's time, hopefully, to preview that game. But for now, it's been me, Ben, and been John.
Yes. Cheers.
We thank you very much.
Yeah.
We'll see you in the next one.
See you again soon.
Cheerio.